We are in a censorship phase. Huge problem. We are in a censorship phase. The federal government was censoring information to social media platforms. We all know that there's always interface between media and government. Over the years, I've had many different administrations come to me and say, be careful about this, be careful about that, be careful. And I welcome it. I welcome it. But there's a line. And they went over the line because they wanted to protect the government policies. And they manipulated social media. The social media people were stupid or gullible or transactional, whatever it was. They
you
went
mispronounced complicit.
or complicit. And that's
you
what...
You believe that? You think they were complicit?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Because, look, you don't have to do what the government's telling you to do. Were there some subtle threats? Yeah, I believe there were. But Bobby is right about this issue.
Number one, the recent Wall Street Journal report regarding COVID, where the DOE has known and suggested that there was an actual leak at the Wuhan lab, and that they knew about it for a couple of years. That's interesting, because when some of us suggested that 2 years ago, my colleagues across the aisle said we were conspiracy theorists, we were nuts, we were xenophobic, all sorts of ridiculous complaints. I was censored, I was bumped, I was shadow banned, all types of things, because they said it was COVID misinformation. Joe Biden stood up and said, I think social media should do more censoring of COVID misinformation. Turns out that was not COVID misinformation. When I stood up and said, I have on my desk 2 meta-studies which encompass over 100 studies on masking, and masks simply don't work unless you have a special, fitted, unique N95 mask. Misinformation taken down. Those were medical studies, scientific studies, peer-reviewed studies. Now we know. Now we've got the piece here where Lancet recognizes natural immunity. 3 years late, when we started talking about natural immunity, and I brought in doctors and scientists, and I did podcasts with them.
Wow, guys, it is not looking good for Jurassic Joe, Sleepy Biden, Sleepy Joe, Ice Cream Joe Biden. It is not looking good for him, okay? He's going out sad as he's going out. You know, it's being exposed that he pushes for this censorship. And this is something we've been addressing, but it just gets worse. And we're going to dive into our next clip here, which really just shows how bad it's actually getting. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, the King Squad Elites. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. If nobody told you guys today, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. And let's get into our next video.
A Fox News alert just moments ago. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, announcing a commitment to free speech online and a shift away from censoring all of us.
And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it.
The company admitting that they were pressured into it over the last 4 years under the Biden administration. Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley joins us now. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Ainsley.
Hi. What is your reaction to this, and why do you think they're doing this now?
Well, that's the most interesting aspect of this story. You know, I just wrote a book, The Indispensable Right, that talks about Facebook, Meta, and the social media companies. And we all love a redemptive sinner. It's just that it would be great if that occurred before you were caught. And we have a great deal of information now that does not really support the argument by Zuckerberg that they were unwilling partners forced into this by the Biden administration. They resisted calls from many of us for years to join Elon Musk, to reveal, for example, the Facebook files, which they resisted. They fought at every stage not to be transparent, and that finally collapsed. Now, that criticism aside, this is an important moment. Musk has been out there taking these slings and arrows throughout this process as the only social media company that went full in on free speech. Zuckerberg would be a powerful ally. It would be a wonderful change. Facebook funded a really creepy campaign years ago, trying to get young people to embrace what they call content moderation, what some of us call censorship. And it really failed in a spectacular fashion. It would be great if Zuckerberg could join Musk and create this powerful alliance for free speech.
Mm-hmm. Well, Joel Kaplan, he is Meta's Chief Global Affairs Officer. He was on with us, and this is what he said. I'll play a clip, and then we'll get your reaction on the other side.
There's no question that there's an opportunity here with a new president taking office, as I said, who really believes in free expression. And that's just going to give us the space to get back to those values that Mark has talked about for a long time. Mark gave a big speech 6 years ago at Georgetown about free expression, about these values. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of political and societal pressure here and around the world that have pushed away from those values. We've got a real opportunity to reset, get back to them. There's a real opportunity here with President Trump coming into office with his commitment to free expression for us to get back to those values and really provide space for people to have the kind of discourse and debate they want to have.
Will it work, Jonathan?
Well, when I heard that, and this was a great interview on Fox, it was really sent a chill up my spine because it made me wonder, what if Trump wasn't elected? What if this was the Harris administration? I wrote a column earlier that the Biden administration was the most anti-free speech administration since John Adams. But Kamala Harris promised to outdo that. And you really wonder, hearing that interview, what they would have done if, in fact, the election came out differently. The public spoke very loudly. And so,
yeah, I just want to say thank God that Trump won. I mean, seriously, if Ku Klux Kamala Harris won, that'd be the death nail in the coffin. Like that would just finish. That would finish us off. That'd be a giant KO to America. Okay. Yeah. No. So it's just, sheesh. That is a true nightmare if she would have won.
So that's the reason I'm hoping, regardless of the motivation, regardless of the fact that it's belated, we need help. This is the largest anti-free speech movement in the history of our country. I talk about that in the book. It's sweeping over Europe. Free speech is collapsing in Europe. This is going to be the line of defense for free speech. We're it. We stop it here, or it doesn't get stopped.
And look what's happening in Canada. The liberal ideals are not working. We saw that yesterday with Trudeau stepping down, and now the Conservatives winning by a landslide. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
So there you have it, guys. And the fact of the matter is, one of the things I want to highlight here is with Mark Zuckerberg, one of the biggest social media creators to ever exist, coming out and saying that the government forced him, really pushed him into a direction of social media censorship, that is more evidence coming out of just how crooked Biden actually is. Okay, the Biden crime family. And this is what I mean when I say that the Biden crime family needs to be locked up. Seriously. Okay, they have not put the Americans first at all. They have their own wicked and dark twisted agendas that they've been pushing forward. And I'm really interested in seeing with free speech coming back. Okay. Now, to the degree it comes back at that, I don't know. But with free speech on the horizon, just slowly being restored, what will come out about Biden? Because if you guys remember, I remember that the mainstream media was hiding everything, all of Biden's flaws, and they were only showing good stuff from Biden and stuff that they were just making up. And I'm like, what the heck is this? How? And then the stuff that they called good, I'm like, how is this any good? How does this help us? How does this make groceries more affordable? How does this make, car insurances and more affordable? Like, how does this make starting a family in America more affordable? How does this make, affording, your everyday day-to-day costs more affordable? It was just a giant L. But with the censorship being, really just really kind of done away with. I'm curious to see what will come out on Biden, because anything negative that was said about Biden was hidden. Meanwhile, everything negative that people were trying to come up with about Trump was being highlighted and thrown right in front of the people's faces via the mainstream media and social media. Okay, so that's something that I'm really interested in seeing, guys. Drop down below in the comments what you guys think. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys have to say. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and I hope you guys are having a great and awesome day. You guys are awesome, and don't let anybody tell you any different. Hope everybody's drinking their water and making their money legally. No, this is not financial advice. And stay peaceful, stay prosperous, stay blessed. Peace.